Okay, I think we're ready to do this. Now, what I've assembled here is, and I'm not trying to turn this into a video about what I would take on a multi-day hunting trip. That's not what this is. I've just tried to assemble some common sense, general items that I would take. Here I've got a complete sleep system that'll get you down probably to freezing at night, but nice and warm in the daytime. Then I've got the clothing and a little bit more sleep stuff, but mostly the clothing for this little adventure. And then I'm just going to run through real quick. I got some stuff for the weapon. I got a poncho. I got a pad, GPS stuff, ammo, magazines, binoculars, cooking kit, water, some camouflage and bug net, some gloves, rain suit, food for 4 to 5 days, water bladder, first aid kit and knife, illumination, got a couple of a rain hat and a cold weather hat. And the only 2 items that I'm putting in here that could possibly be attached to the outside of the packs are a first aid kit, and I'm still on the ropes. I think I'm going to put this inside. I don't think I'm going to attach it to the outside, but I may change my mind as we go. And then I have this very light pouch which will hold an Nalgene bottle. And those are the only 2 concessions to all the MOLLE webbing that is available on both these packs, because I want to do a clean pack. And so just common sense tells you want to have water accessible. So I'm going to put that somewhere on each pack. And you know, now that I think of, well, I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air on these 2 guys. But basically you see what I'm going to be fitting in these packs. And then there's going to be the weapon and my bog tripod. Okay, so that's going to be key into both of these packs, how well that rides. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all these into one pack, see how it rides, take it for a test drive, see what we think of it, and then we'll do all over again with the second pack. And let's just see how both of them handle this representation of a 4 to 5 day hunting trip. All right, I've decided to start with the ILBE, and as you can see, I have put the sleep system into the bottom of the ILBE, and I am going to utilize this divider to divide the sleep system from the rest of the pack, but I just wanted you to see that. All right, there we have it. Everything's loaded. And if you have any experience backpacking, you will understand when I say that it is just crammed in there, and not as much thought went to, oh, make this available and I can pull this out. Yeah, I've got the items that you would want at hand in the lid, but for the most part it's crammed in there. So I would say we are at the maximum as far as space that the ILBE can handle. Now the ILBE is supposed to be able to handle 100, 120 pounds, you know, as far as weight goes, but we're talking about space here. We need to throw it on and just see what it feels like. Well, I remember this feeling. That is one loaded pack. And I'll tell you what, the weight of that rifle and that I'll get back there, and that bod bog that tripod is tremendous. And yeah, there's a lot of times you say, well, I'd be carrying my rifle, and yeah, you're right, but I want to see how these packs work carrying all the gear. I tell you, you wouldn't want to hike up any serious mountain carrying this much weight. All right, so I've walked around with this pack. I'm still out of breath. For about 10 minutes, looking like a fool. And it actually got more comfortable. It kind of just, I don't know, I kind of got used to it. But I tell you what, if I were going on this 4 or 5 day hunting trip, and this was the pack I had, I would be going in and getting rid of some stuff. Probably would be replacing the bog with a sandbag, and just looking at shooting from behind my pack in the prone. It's heavy and unwieldy, and I tried to weigh it, and I just couldn't find a way to do it. I was going to end up breaking something, and so I backed off of weighing it. I don't know what it weighs, but it's damn heavy. It's damn heavy, and that's a lot of gear. And I would say that pack is at its practical limit as far as carrying that gear. Now, does it ride? Yeah, rode pretty good. And you can see I did this. I put that first aid kit here to kind of keep the bog from traveling forward toward me, and that worked really well. The rifle didn't move. The rifle did real fine. You can see that I just threw the Nalgene bottle in front of the rifle, just because that's where it would fit. And this is where that lack of molly on the ILBE's waist belt really comes into play, because it would be nice to be able to throw that Nalgene bottle there, but I can't do it. So, but it fit in this very wide pocket. And now understand, there's no water in this. I mean, I threw this here just as a placeholder, but there's no water in there. So it's heavy, and I haven't even put water in. I would be taking some weight out, even if it meant, you know, being a little less comfortable. I would be taking some weight out right now in order to get this more comfortable of a pack. Now, you might be saying, well, it's just too much gear for any pack, and that may be true, and that's why we're going to load the Eberlestock Battleship up and see how it rides and how well it all goes in. I got a feeling it's all going to go in better because it's just a larger pack, but let's see how it rides too, and let's see how well attaching all this stuff to it goes. All right, just for fun, I thought I would try this pack again, this time with everything in it but no rifle and no bog tripod, and it handles much better, much better. So what's the lesson from this? Just because we can strap the bipod or the tripod and the rifle to the side, not sure we should. This pack feels okay. I mean, it's heavy. It's a heavy pack. I mean, I got it loaded, but feels much better, much more manageable. So I just wanted to do that before I unloaded it. Let's go do the same thing to the Eberlestock. This is interesting. I tried putting the sleep system in through the opening there in the front, and it wouldn't fit. That sleep system would not fit through the zippered hole, so I had to load it from the top, just like I did the ILBE. And you can see the collar that is used to divide the two sections. I don't see much use in it, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, I've already come to the conclusion both the collar divider and the shelf divider in these two packs are kind of superfluous. I don't see where they really do anything. Oh well, let's get this thing loaded. All right, we've got the Eberlestock Battleship packed up almost the same way. We've got the rifle on the right side. This time the Nalgene is in a, here, let me turn this around because there's some things to talk about over here. The Nalgene is in an upper pocket, this mesh pocket, because this pocket here, while nice and deep, isn't as it doesn't have the elastic for one thing, and there's no way a Nalgene would have fit in there. So, but it fits fine up here. Also, you'll see that the water, the soft water bottle that I had in the back on the ILBE is in this long water pouch pocket over here on this side. Although not as many straps as the ILBE, plenty of straps. This rifle's nice and tight. Over on this side, same thing with the Bog. Bog had a little bit of trouble going into this pouch. This pouch just does not have, like I said, it's got depth, but it doesn't have the capacity with the elastic that the ILBE has. But I've done the same thing here. I've thrown the first aid kit in front of the Bog so that it would keep it from riding toward my body. And this time, instead of attaching it to Molly, I've got this huge mesh pocket. I wish the pocket down here was as large opening as the mesh pocket up here is, but you know, hey, that's okay, it works out. And I will say, there is still plenty of real estate to put things on. It looks a little cattywampus, doesn't it? We're gonna see how that rides. So far, I'm pretty impressed. It was easy to pack, easy to pack. I had no trouble. Where I had some problems mashing down all the stuff into the ILBE, you know, this thing's supposed to be a 90 liter versus that 75 liter, and yeah, it has to be. I will also say that the lid has more room in it than the lid on the ILBE. I had plenty of room to stick. I put the same things in the same places, and there's plenty of room in the lid of this thing. All right, let's throw it on and see how it feels. All right, here we go. Right off the bat, I can tell that it doesn't have the suspension system that the ILBE does. I mean, the ILBE is just overwhelming, the suspension system. This one wants to wobble a lot more left to right. It pulls on more on my shoulders, even though I have the waist belt cinched up as tight as I can. It's pulling on my shoulders more. It's just a heavy load. I've got to say, even though the ILBE didn't feel good either, how do I say this? It felt more secure. This feels wobbly. And I've tightened it just as much as I can. It still feels wobbly. The suspension system is just not there like it is with the ILBE. However, the stuff loaded up fine. It's a big pack. I would love to mate the ILBE suspension system to this pack. I wonder if that's possible. That's another video though, isn't it? All right, let's do this. Let's walk around this thing a little bit. Although I can tell you, it's hurting my shoulders. It really is. Way more than the ILBE did. But I'm gonna walk around a little bit, and then we'll go back and we'll take off the Bog and the, we'll take off the Bog and the rifle and see how it feels that way. All right? All right. Back with the Eberlestock Battleship, we've taken the Bog tripod and the 308 rifle out, and much lighter, much easier. But you know, it still has a wobble to it that the ILBE doesn't. And if you're a backpacker, it's a wobble that you would recognize as something you don't want. Something's not right about it. I've got to investigate that, because I don't think it's supposed to be that way. It's with that extra weight gone, the waist belt's doing a much better job, but it's still got a wobble that I don't care for. There's hands down the suspension system on the ILBE is better. But I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to wear this pack with this suspension system and this weight for very long, even without the rifle and the tripod, which is disappointing because the pack part is outstanding. Oh my gosh, all the little accessories and the pockets and the, I mean, I'm really falling in love with that part. But either there's something wrong with the suspension system or I've got something wrong with it. And this is a good time to talk about the aluminum stays. In my earlier video reviewing the Eberlestock pack, someone pointed out that I had the stays backwards. Well, that's how they came, but I looked and sent pictures to Eberlestock and said, hey, is this backwards? And they said, yeah, you got it backwards and upside down. So I fixed it. But you know what? I'm starting to doubt. Okay, so there we are. We loaded both packs up with quite a bit of gear, probably too much gear. And the final judgment is I love the Battleship as a pack. The sack is just wonderful. It from the lid all the way down. It's wonderful. It held the rifle and the bog just as well as the ILBE did, and this thing was made to hold mortar rounds. But where it failed and where the ILBE shined is the suspension. It's just so thick and so wonderful. My shoulders hurt with the Eberlestock. The waist belt was adequate. It held, and yes, I love the Molly, but these shoulder straps, I didn't care for them. And there was a wobbly aspect that I just don't know about. Going to be looking to see if they make a more robust shoulder strap system for the Eberlestock, because it'd be wonderful to be able to take this suspension system and put it on this sack, because that was wonderful. So the winners are suspension, ILBE. For bag itself, hands down, it's the Battleship, which I really, if you're one of my five faithful, you know how much I love the ILBE. But I tell you what, loading this thing and seeing what I could get in there and just how easy it was, I was falling in love with this Eberlestock, and I still am. But we've got to get the suspension system figured out. It's something wasn't right. As I said, supposedly I had the stays upside down and backwards. That's how they came. So I've corrected that. And I wouldn't credit the stays with the whole side to side thing. But if you're a 90-liter pack, you need to be able to handle the weight that comes with 90 liters. This is only a 75-liter pack, but it was able to handle the weight a lot better. I thought this was uncomfortable till I wore this one. Anyway, that's the outcome. I'm not giving up on the Eberlestock. Matter of fact, I think I'll be taking this on my hunting trip in February. I've taken the ILBE before, and I think I'm gonna take the Eberlestock just to see what we can do. And I don't carry as much weight as you see here. Anyway, that's the review. Sorry it took so long. I hope you were able to sit through it. Thanks for watching.